York Rangers have won Game 1 by a score of 6-2. And this is the first time the Rangers have led in a series this playoffs. And they really carried that momentum from the Carolina series into Game 1. The Tampa Bay Lightning, who hadn't played in 9 days, definitely were rusty. Although the Lightning played a really good first period. I thought the Lightning were the better team in the first, but the Rangers in the second and third were really dominant. It's good stuff for the Rangers all around. It really is. I mean, the kid line was, again, brilliant, especially Filip. Filip, he's kind of becoming a star before our eyes. This is someone who scored 8 goals in the regular season. Granted, he did miss about a little less than 20 games. But now he has 7 goals in the playoffs, and really it should have been 8 when you consider the Kakko goalie interference in the Pittsburgh series from Game 1. So, he really could have 8 goals, but either way, 7 is just kind of insane. And that was really a big moment in this game where it was 1-0, 1-1, 2-1, 2-2, but then a couple of Chytil goals, and the Rangers never looked back. Vasilevskiy wasn't really on his game tonight, and you'd expect a much better Vasilevskiy in Game 2. Shesterkin did his thing, very consistent as he always does. Another 37 saves for Igor. Thought he played very well. And, the Rangers, I think there's a lot to go in this series. And for many reasons, I don't think fans should get ahead of themselves just yet. It's way too early. But it's interesting. I think Tampa Bay was a little bit too much of a favorite going into this series if we really think about it. I mean, not that the regular season stuff matters that much. The Rangers did win all 3 games. It doesn't mean that much. But I had always said, and just watching this team, and obviously, I've watched this team all season, I felt as if Carolina was a tougher matchup for the Rangers than the Lightning, which now, you can look at that a few ways, but I think that the Lightning, it's a very good team, obviously, and they have won, what is it, like 17 or 18 straight games after a loss. Like Vasilevskiy's numbers after a loss are just out of this world good, like a .940 save percentage. And we're talking like I said, 17 or 18 games straight where they do not lose 2 in a row in the playoffs. So that's why for me, Game 2 is really pivotal. And the Rangers, in their recent history, they don't go up 2-0 in series. I was thinking about it. They really don't. And, in those mid-20, I'm really thinking back to those mid-2010s teams where routinely they would win Game 1 and lose Game 2. Like, it would be very, very frequent, and sometimes they'd still win those series. A lot of times they would, but eventually it has an effect. And really, the 2015 Lightning series, the Rangers won Game 1 after what was an emotional, Capitals comeback, the Derek Stepan Game 7 overtime winner. And then the Rangers lost Game 2. And then, things kind of, they ended up losing in 7. It's not like the series got away from them, but if you had got up 2-0, we might be talking about a completely different situation. We might be talking about a Ranger team that maybe, could have won that series and maybe won the cup, let's just say. But so that's why I think this Game 2, I can't stress enough, like that's a very important game in this series. If you can win Game 2, you're looking at a pretty decent spot, honestly. But anyway, as far as Game 1 was concerned, the Rangers got off to a great start. Right away at 1:11, it is a goal for Chris Kreider. His 9th goal of the playoffs from Mika Zibanejad, who continues to, for me, really be pound for pound the best player on this team, Mika Zibanejad. And Frank Vatrano gets the other assist. So this is a nice play by Mika, kind of going in with speed, takes the hard fake shot, finds Kreider, and he buries it past Vasilevskiy. And the Rangers take a 1-0 lead. But Tampa played a really good first period, I felt. I think that the Lightning, from their perspective, they should have been up after this period. Absolutely. And they would tie it up at 7:18. The Rangers do a poor job of clearing it out. And it is a goal for Steven Stamkos. His 5th goal of the playoffs from Jan Rutta and Anthony Cirelli. And so that makes it 1-1. And there was some back and forth play, but I felt like, Igor was making some key saves. I didn't feel good about things, in that first period. I definitely did not. And you could tell like the difference between Carolina and the Tampa skill level is just completely different. And I felt like in this game a lot was not being called, which I think would favor Tampa. If they swallow their whistles, the refs, I think that favors the Lightning. But the Rangers would get a power play in the first as Brandon Hagel holds Filip, but the Rangers power play was unsuccessful. And so we go 1-1 into the second. And in the second, I thought the Rangers played very, very well. They really did. This was a great, great period for the New York Rangers where they, quite honestly, really took it to the Tampa Bay Lightning. And a big sequence was Frank Vatrano makes a great defensive play where Trouba slips and falls. And it was almost, it was an odd man rush and what would have been a near easy goal for the Lightning, but Vatrano gets back and breaks it up. Breaks up the play, and then soon thereafter, it's a goal for Vatrano, his fourth, that classic sort of Vatrano shot. And maybe Vasilevskiy wants to have that one back, but still, not many guys can do that like Frank. And so Vatrano scores his fourth in the playoffs, assisted by Adam Fox, who continues to impress. Adam Fox has been unbelievable. I felt like the end of his regular season was not strong, but he has been really, really good in the playoffs. And so the Rangers make it 2-1, but Tampa has that quick response. At 8:32, it's Andre Palat, his fifth goal of the playoffs from Cirelli and Stamkos. And this was after Ryan Strome was robbed by Vasilevskiy on a 2-on-1 play where Panarin passes to Strome. Vasilevskiy makes a great save, so it's 2-2. But the kid line would really put the Rangers over the top. And Filip at the time scores his sixth goal of the playoffs from a beautiful pass by Kakko. And Lafreniere gets the other assist. So Kakko makes a really nice pass. This goal was very reminiscent to the goal by Alexis Lafreniere in Game 5 against the Penguins. Very, very similar. Chytil finds some open space, buries it past Vasilevskiy. And so it's 3-2. So we go to later in the period. And this is where, to me, this was the shift of the game. The Rangers had about a minute and a half long shift. It might have even been longer than that, give or take. And originally, I think the fourth line was on for the Rangers, as well as the Miller-Trouba pair. But eventually, Chytil gets on the ice and the kid line gets on. And the Rangers have a lot of chances. And then all of a sudden, it would be Adam Fox coming on the ice for Trouba, makes a great play to keep the puck in. He finds Lafreniere, who finds Keandre Miller. And Miller makes a beautiful pass to Filip, who buries it. So it's the second goal of the night for Chytil, his seventh in the playoffs from Miller and Lafreniere. And the Rangers take that 4-2 lead. And that, to me, felt really, really big. And it was. And so Chytil, he scored 2 goals in Game 6. He scored a goal in Game 7. So that's now 5 goals in the last 3 games for Phil Chytil. Like I said, really, really opening some eyes. And who knows, like that second line center spot, that could be his next season. I don't think we thought that. I think we thought there was always a chance. But then the way the season was going, no way. Now, it's right there for him. So now in the third, I was a little skeptical. Tampa's going to come strong, but the Rangers did what they had to do, and that's score 30 seconds into the period, and it's Artemi Panarin, his fifth goal of the playoffs from Andrew Kopp and Jacob Trouba. A nice pass by Kopp, a nice shot by Panarin. And with this series, you can already tell there's more time and space for Panarin. He had nowhere to go in the Carolina series. Against Tampa, I'd expect a little bit better play from Panarin. And tonight was a step in the right direction. I think there's more to be had there, but it was better. Then Tampa takes a penalty, not before the Rangers did. So the Rangers, Justin Braun trips Ross Colton at 1:04. Rangers kill it off. And then at 4:37, Killorn holds Artemi Panarin. And the Rangers put the icing on the cake. And Mika Zibanejad scores again, his 8th goal of the playoffs. That patented Zibanejad power play one-time Ovechkin-esque, Stamkos-esque type goal from Panarin and Fox. 6:06 in the third gives the Rangers a 6-2 lead, and they would hold it from there. Keandre Miller would hold Steven Stamkos at 28. Rangers penalty kill does the job. The penalty kill was awesome tonight. And then at 18-14, things get really physical after it was Goodrow got hit by Hagel earlier. And then Goodrow, in response, cross-checks Hagel. They call that, but then it's Reeves in maroon. Braden Schneider was going at it with, I think, Pierre Edouard Bellemare. It was, Justin Braun and Brandon Hagel. McDonough was in it. Like, basically everyone that was on the ice got a penalty, I'm pretty sure. Just about everyone. Yeah, Tyler Mott, everyone did. So, that was interesting. But the Rangers win this one 6-2. A pretty easy win. The Rangers at Madison Square Garden have been very, very good. They were good this year at home, and now again at MSG. The only loss was that triple overtime game to the Penguins, and there was that controversial goalie interference penalty. So without that, the Rangers would have won every home game. And now it's a franchise record, 7 straight home playoff wins. And so you hope to carry that into game 2. That's going to be a very interesting game where the Rangers are very good at home, but now the Rangers are in a different position. They're up in a series. We have not seen that. And sometimes when the Rangers are in good positions, they kind of take their foot off the gas. Like, that's more of an in-game thing, but they need to stress the importance because Tampa is going to come very, very hard at the Rangers. And I know that they know this, but this will be a giant test. The Rangers have passed those giant tests all postseason long, but this is one that I think, you can't get too far ahead of yourselves as Ranger fans. It's exciting. It's awesome. But let's see what happens in game 2. But what I will say, is that Tampa, I think, was a little bit too much of a favorite. Look, they deserve to be the favorite. They're the 2-time defending Stanley Cup champion, but it was a little bit too strong. And just in watching the Rangers and seeing the Lightning, and I think now after game 1, that the Lightning won't be seen as such a heavy favorite. I think that by most they are still seen as the favorite, but maybe the gap has sort of tightened up a bit. But again, Rangers with a very impressive win. They have now won, their last 3 games of the playoffs. They have won 5 of their last 6, dating back to game 3 of the Carolina series. And they're really playing some very good hockey. And it's great to see. And like I said, that kid line has really played a lot better than they did in the regular season. I mean, it's just there's nothing else for me to say. It's just great. So, again, Rangers win game 1 against the Tampa Bay Lightning 6-2, and we will see what happens Friday night for game 2 of this series. The Eastern Conference Final seems like it's going to be a very interesting one.